Well, hello and welcome to you all. I hope you're having a great day. For those of you who are waking up, I hope you've had a good sleep. For those of us that have had our day, I hope your day was good. Let me tell you how my day started because my life is just so crazy at the moment. Hello to everybody. So I'll just quickly say hello. Hello, Ellie. Hello, Gail. Hello, Josh. Hello, Karen. Hello, Sarah Loves Donuts. B420. Diamond Crystal Arts, Maria. I think that was everybody. If I've missed anybody and I haven't called your name, I haven't seen it, I apologise. So today, as I said, was our first. So we came out of lockdown on Thursday so we could have 50 people in at church. So when I went to bed last night, I got myself organised and went, hello, Wind Whispers, got to go to church. Hello, Dom. And so anyway, my son comes in and says, Mum, wake up. Now, when my son wakes me up, it's usually for one of two things. A, the internet's not working, or B, there's no food. And so I'm going, oh, the internet's not working again, isn't it? He goes, no, Mum, it's 9:30. And I said, yeah. He goes, Mum, church. And it dawned on me that I should have been at church, and the church was ringing, right? Because they couldn't get hold of me. They were ringing my kids to say that I was okay because I hadn't turned up at church. And so I quickly got dressed, took my medication, had a coffee, jumped in a car, got to church. So that was my morning. There was 35 of us, so as I said, you're restricted to 50, so we had 35 today. So that was a good turnout. There's a lot of people, of course, that stayed away. Not when you're the musician, Gail. that was the biggest concern. So anyway, so that's what's happened. So that was my morning, and it's sort of, there were then, of course, I've only just like 10 minutes ago finished the Emily Artful video. I don't know if everybody's watched it and what you thought of it. It was very interesting. I haven't really had a chance to process. Like I'm still trying to process what it was all about. Very, very interesting. There's lots of questions. I think there are lots of questions that need answering. So interesting. Well, that's a different word. Yeah, well, I can't. I wasn't really. I just don't know how I felt. I mean, it was very interesting. She had a lot of receipts, and I guess I can't come up with the emotion, like the word that I'm looking for. Dom says, yes, the Emily Art video was long but interesting. It seemed a bit rushed. I thought the ending was a little bit rushed. And I sort of got the impression that towards the end, she was still questioning whether it was her or not, whether it was Shannon. But I'm a little bit I'm just a little bit confused still about it all. I plan to create. Apparently, it's because of a man with a bunch of pointing fingers at each other. It is very confusing, Wind Whispers, and I'm still not prepared to get off the fence on the issue. I'm very much still. I don't understand it, and it's I. You don't think the receipts proved anything? It does prove that there was what it does prove is that there was communications, and that Emily had spoken to them about the fact that she thought it might have been them, and that they were prepared to look at a restraining order. I watched it. I don't think the receipts weren't as strong as I would have liked. Hopeless Peaches also. Yeah, I haven't watched Hopeless Peaches one yet. I don't know. I'm on the fence too. Well, there's a whole group of us then that are sitting on the fence. As I said, I think there's a lot of questions that still need to be answered and still need to be asked and still need to be addressed. But unfortunately, somebody else has inserted themselves into the situation and believes that it's conclusive proof. There's still a lot of speculation, I think. You feel like your perch is okay? Yeah. As I said, I've only just watched it. I really haven't. I only just finished it, and I don't know. I'm feeling that doesn't affect me. I have to have all of this the people who have relationships. I'm going to leave all of this to people that have relationships with. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Sarah loves donuts. It does. At the end of the day, it doesn't affect me either, because I wasn't a fan. I've only heard of Emily Artful because of the creep show situation. So I just really don't know. So I imagine that people are feeling very hurt. There's no way I would have put up with being harassed for nearly 8 to 10 years. Yeah, I don't know. It does make for good YouTube drama, though, doesn't it? And to be fair and honest, I think now that everything's out there, it now needs to be addressed behind the scenes. I think, because let's be honest, if we were talking about a courtroom situation, even the guilty have a chance, or the alleged guilty have a chance to give their side. Yeah, there's been a lot of views. So I actually would like to see a response from Creepshow Art, and then but I'm not prepared to jump either way. This is now exactly, Dre. Tension. Now's the time to be. Now, interestingly, if those of you that have followed Carolyn Ironwell, she apparently had some. Don't forget KJ slammed Snyder for being a druggie and Leslie Bass for her person. Yes, she did. Carolyn Ironwell has disappeared off social media. She's taken down her channel, and I've missed all of that. But she now is. She expressed an opinion about the fact that she couldn't. I don't know what her opinion was, but and those kinds of things should not be on YouTube, because she apparently gave benefit of doubt to Creepshow Art, and she was attacked, and so she stepped away. I've had enough of YouTube drama in the next. But the fact is, it's all personal laundry being aired, and it's very confusing. So her channel has disappeared, so I don't know what's going on there. I've missed a lot of that, but I have seen on Twitter that I did see some people alluding to on Twitter that she expressed an opinion that people didn't like, and she's totally disappeared. So I don't know what's going on there. And what I'm going to say that is that just because somebody doesn't agree with you or has a different opinion doesn't make them wrong and you right. And whatever the case is, it looks like both sides need some type. There needs to be some type of. Both sides need help. Now, Emily has said that she's been going through a lot of therapy and working through those issues. And I just hope that everybody's okay at the end of this. Take your opinions away, yeah. What happened to this? Yeah. So anyway, I believe that she's now off social media and Twitter. Have we ever behaved like this at pipe dream? Yeah. So that sort of saddens me that this now is just affecting people for having an opinion. Probably one, and that's probably also one reason why I'm not keen to have an. Well, it's not that I don't want to have an opinion. I just don't have one at the moment. I don't know that I've seen enough either way to convince me. Plus, it's all he said, she said, pointing finger, made in a rush with receipts were out of order, and she kept going over. Yes, he did. I heard reach out to people who'd been friends if it was all right because I had a feeling might. Yeah, I heard that she was reaching out to see whether Creepshow was okay. She was concerned about Creepshow's mental health, as we all should be. We should be concerned about each other. I watched Carolyn's last video. She asked that anyone that knew Creepshow are checking because she was worried. Had made me think she had a bad feeling, yeah. So on this, so yeah, this was a tweet that she did. All right, so let me show you this. Hello, Fake Street. Let me do this. So she shared this on Instagram. So I'm going to show the Instagram post here. Oh, look, I'm there. I haven't disappeared yet. Oh, I have now. Okay. This is Emily Artful. I'm sorry for what you have gone through. My heart goes out to you. Thank you for bravely sharing your story. Having your stalk you with his girlfriend is abhorrent, and I hope you receive some justice for the crimes. I believe you and see you survivor. If you hadn't had a chance, I'd encourage you to watch Emily Artful's video she uploaded today about being stalked, harassed, and threatened by CSA. I know I wasn't going to say anything on this topic, but I can't stay silent. The allegations Emily brought forward are so severe and disturbing. What she experienced is horrific. No one should be abused in this way. Online stalking, trolling, threats of releasing revenge pictures, hacking, getting fired from jobs, etc. Emily alleged that Shannon's husband her and has been stalking her for years while using Shannon to help him. Online stalking and harassment is one of the most horrific abuse victims experience because the perpetrators are anonymous. While I, too, have experienced abuse by this same creator, it in no way compares to Emily Artful. I will say that CSA accused me of things she was doing to me and others, which I never did. Thank you, Emily, for sharing your truth. I hope more victims will come forward. It's hard because we've all been painted as horrible, stalking, death threats, sending doxers, which we are not. I truly hope that people realise that Shannon spread so many lies, damaged so many people's credibility, and many of her victims will still not be believed by her fans. Be brave, everybody. Speak up, speak out. I see you, Emily. I believe you. I stand against online harassment, stalking, and abuse. I hope you get justice. And before people accuse me of being a stalker, I have never harassed, stalked, threatened, or used sock puppets to hurt anyone. The lawsuit is over and everything was dropped by both sides. There was no stalking by me related to anyone. Thanks. So, yeah. So that was her comment. And that stinks. Carolyn has been concerned human. Yeah, so she's lost her. She's gone off. I believe I checked her channel and it's down. So, Wind Whispers. Both sides apparently, yes, both sides have got a history of self-harm, and that is the issue. She got, because some people were friends with dealing with NCI. Yeah. She can't stay silent. That is really what she said. That woman hasn't stopped talking about it. She made the story about her over 40 tweets in one day about it. Well, that's okay. I've missed some of the live too, but she did talk about it. She spent a good deal of her Instagram live talking to her. Completely left. I think she's just not going to cover CSA. Okay. Well, I can't find her on any social media. I'm going to interject here. My biggest issue with Emily's video was when she said, my lawyer told me to keep proof. If she had a lawyer, tell her to keep proof. And she was so sure. It was, I had that issue too, Dom. I had that issue too, because if you've got the proof, published very thoughtful response to what had transpired on Twitter. Okay, I'll have a look. Is that involving CI? Let me have a look. Yeah, so if you're coming and watching because you want to get the big scoop, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna. If you watch me, you know that I don't generally. I don't generally get involved in all the online drama. Yeah, she was really doubling down. I don't see any vindication for just because she says that, just because what she's saying that Creepshow is lied about her doesn't excuse what she's done, in my opinion. Oh wow, cool. I have to follow. I don't think so, especially if she had the IP addresses. See, if you had the IP address, I would have thought if you had all the evidence and you took it to them and said, here's the evidence and here's the proof, they'd be able to do something. Now, Australia has brought in some of the toughest online harassment laws in the world. And so I know for a fact that if I was to take that to the authorities here, they would take action, because it's not, it is, they take it seriously. So that's really where I stand on it. But I guess I'm still a little bit I'm still a little bit confused. Like, I'm still confused. I haven't fully processed what I've watched. Yeah, it seems crazy. It seems weird. And I know that Emily D. Baker said that she wanted to see all the evidence first, and I'm sort of like that too. And Creepshow may not ever talk about the issue, or but I need to see it all. I need to have everything in front of me to try and process it in my head. Because again, if this was, Sarah says, I just don't care. That's a good way to see it. But because, hi, Villanova, the thing is for me, Sarah, because now I'm a content creator, people do think that I should have an opinion on it, and I just don't. I agree with you. I need to see more and think about it. Yeah. I mean, if I had all of this proof, I'd be yeah. So anyway, that's where I stand. But yes, apparently concrete. Apparently, content creators are supposed to have an opinion, and I don't know that I can. I've sat and I've watched it. Well, and that's the thing with Wind Whispers. I've got to have all the facts. Maybe that's just the law nerd coming out in me, but I've got to see all the facts. You know, it's just too hard to. I found it troubling too, but I wondered if the past and drug addiction affected. I don't know. I'm not an investigator, victim friend. Not my business. Please be okay with. Good. I'm glad that you're okay with me being neutral because I am neutral. I really don't have a. I think it would make a good movie though. Well, choosing the side doesn't accomplish anything, and other than more people getting hurt, I think. And Carolyn decided to still give from what I can work out, she was still giving the benefit of doubt, was concerned about Creepshow's mental health, and now she's disappeared off social media. And I think that's wrong. Everybody has a right to be concerned. Yeah, cool. So I'm more than happy to sit on the fence as well. You had a migraine yesterday, and we got a trolling yesterday too, Gail. That was a bit of fun. Oh dear. I'm so jaded. The thought that it all could happen to some big hoax creepy in my mind, but overall I believe him. I'm lashing out against creators on either. I think lashing out at creators on either side is wrong. Well, and probably there'll be people that will give me criticism because I won't take a side, and I'm not going to take a side. I'm not going to take a side. There are some bots who are attacking some of the chats. There were bots attacking. Yes, there were. Supplies. Well, Bo, that did actually come to me. That did come to me. I went, what if everybody's wrong? What if they're both actually victims of the same person? Plot twist. So, but I don't know what Carolyn's advocate history is. If it was flying on social media, it would be fair, but she left it, so it should be addressed. Yeah, yeah. And we don't know what is real with any creators that we watch. That is true. Joe, I thought the same thing. I'm with you, Joe. I'm tired of taking sides without knowing personally what on the whole. Yeah, and that's why I stay out of all the. I know that there is. There's been creator battles going on against creator versus creator, and that's why I've sort of gone. You can watch whoever you like. You're free to support whoever you like. You can, that's your freedom, and it's nobody's business who you watch or who you like. At the end of the day, so as a creator, I can't tell you who you should be following. That's not my job. My job is to do what I do. Innocent and proved. Well, and that's what we also have to remember is that the allegations, they're all still alleged. They're still all allegations. There's been nothing proven. As I said, I think there's some questions that need to be answered, but they could be answered. So, anyway. So So there's that. But there's a lot of people talking about it, and lots of people are talking about it. And of course, you're going to get views, aren't you? I know I put Creepshow in the title, and I put Katie Joy. I know that those two names are going to get people watching without anything else. And so there'll be lots of people that will be really disappointed because I'm not expressing an opinion either way. Other than to say that I was left I'm somewhat confused, and I've got lots of questions. I have more questions than I've got answers. And it's, and as I said, it's probably just the law nerding me. The problem is that this was rushed, and probably, as you said, Joe, for views, but then what if it's all wrong? Well, that's a good point. Everybody was waiting. I mean, if you saw the Twitter post when she said she was collating them, everyone says, oh, yeah, we'll be waiting. Maybe there was a bit of pressure to get them out. Could it have taken a week to do it? Would it have mattered? I said the same thing as Carolyn in this chat a few days ago. Yeah. Well, that's why I'm not prepared to jump and make a decision. That's why I'm not prepared to hang somebody out to dry, because I don't know. And I don't know how IP addresses work, and I don't know how this works. Fully ready for trolls tonight. I did have a very fast trigger finger though, Gail, so I was pretty much on the ball. All right. So this is... So I'm going to show you some number girls. So I was recording this, but Harrison kept FaceTiming. When he's bored, he just keeps FaceTiming me. So my recordings were getting interrupted. He actually tried to FaceTime me. Hi, lucky girl. I don't know. I don't think she's lying. I think she's genuine. But I have lots of questions, and that doesn't mean that I think somebody is lying because I have questions. It doesn't mean that I think that someone's lying because I'm saying that I haven't seen enough to be able to make a decision. I'm not saying that somebody is lying because I want to get everything laid out before me. If we're talking about so what happens if you're charged with a crime and you go to court? The judge hears both sides. The judge sees the evidence from both sides before making a decision. And that's what I'm saying. I need to see everything. So that's what I'm saying. It's like if somebody comes out and says that they've been attacked. I believe that person, that they've been attacked. I'm like you, Joe. I want all the facts. I've spoken about it a little on my channel, but I need to know the full details by making a full video. I don't think Emily is lying. I just have questions. See, I do too, Dom. I have questions, but I don't think she's lying. I don't think she's lying by being stalked. So it's even like let's go with the Josh Duggar thing. We've only heard snippets of we haven't seen all the facts laid out before us. As I said, I'm anti. This is enough drama for me. Yeah, it's enough drama for me too, Don. I don't think Emily should have said she was going to put out a video. Just pressure was on if she didn't mean it. Yeah. I believe Emily, however, more details are needed to answer questions that were raised. And I thought, for me, I thought the video ended abruptly, and that was the bit where she says she's introduced a character, like it's like introducing that bit someone, and then says, I don't think that this is Shannon, and then sort of finishes it there. And I thought, oh, okay. That's all I'm saying, lucky girl. I don't think she's lying, but I can't say that I've seen enough to say who it is. That's all I'm saying. And yeah, the video was dropped. And I've got lots of questions. I've got lots of questions. And I'll just like if I was a judge, they can surprise you, and sometimes they don't. Emily made more questions than answers. Yeah, and I think the end of the video left me with more questions than answers. That's just my opinion. However, that doesn't mean. I think what she's showing is that she has been stalked and harassed, and I'm not doubting that at all. But I've been watching a lot of court stuff, and a lot of stuff in court, and there's both sides get to have their say. So, and then the judge or the jury, they make up their minds. No, I'm not doubting that she was stalked. And there's been many times people have gone to court and the judge has said, I think this happens, but I haven't seen enough evidence to be able to say that it's, to say it was this person. That's just how I feel at the moment. But no, I'm not doubting that she was stalked. Because that whole conversation that she had with Shannon about the restraining order and everything left me baffled and confused as well. About the fact that they were actually prepared to sign one. That's got me baffled as well. It should be private. If not for lawyers on both sides hashing it out, YouTube is not a place. Just my opinion, yeah. I think the man is common. I think the man in common. It seems to be. Yeah, so that had me going, hang on a minute. If they're prepared to sign a restraining order and not contact you, so there was that type of stuff that I wanted to hear what the resolve of that was. But anyway. Hello, Jenna Sweet Tea. We're just talking about the Creepshow. We're just talking about Emily Artful's video. And how the common consensus is we feel that we don't actually have enough information to get us off the fence. So I'm still on the fence about it all. So anyway, as I said, I'm probably looking at it from a law nerd's point of view as well. And I haven't spoken to Poppy Seeds about it, but I would be interested to get her take on it as well. But I think that's what Emily D. Baker's doing. She wants to see everything before she even makes a comment on it, and she's been straight up front about that as well. Yeah, we're all fence sitting. Yep. Wow, hey? All right, so Llama Girl goes, KJ's trying to prove she plays with her son. I hope he wasn't listening to Emily's video that KJ watched twice, seeing as it's 2 hours long. So she's saying that she watched her video twice, which is 4 hours, but then she claims that she was playing with her son. So it's not a video for children.
I spent all morning with my son and afternoon. My husband went and got a tattoo today. So my little boy and I were doing dinosaur stuff, watching the Gaming Beaver, playing Jurassic World. Oh, look, there's my husband. Feels so good to be done with your paper. That's good. Glad you got. You know what? Hold on a second. I gotta get it.
Warning, this is gross. It's on his Instagram, the tattoo.
It never fails. As soon as I go live, my nose starts to run. It's like allergy season right now, and my nose has been really runny. So I don't have.
Oh, that's the end of that one, I think. Well, no, I think we're still going. No, we're still going. Oh, yeah.
I know, my allergies are so bad. Hello. Allergies are no fun. Not at all. Hi.
Okay, so that was the first one. Now, the interesting thing is, now, no, I didn't, Jenna. Sorry, I didn't, Jess. That was very interesting. No, but there was a picture. Someone, I don't know who had that picture. I can't remember who had the picture. No. But yes, she did show a picture. There is a picture going around of her son on the floor on a blanket in the hospital. And people are saying it's blanket training. Well, it gets worse. She actually ends live because it's on Reddit. Is it, Jess? All right, I'll have a look. I'll grab it up. So this says, she says she doesn't drink anything hard, yet hard is written on the lemonade. When Todd mentions how hard it's going, I be putting V to bed, she ignores him and carries on talking. The other thing is, she talks about, at one point, about the fact that for her family Christmas, they all exchanged liquor. Now, she said that Todd's an alcoholic. Why would the family be doing that around somebody that is allegedly alcoholic? That to me is very inconsiderate. She also doesn't like brand. All right, let's have a look. So this is the next one. So Todd's obviously in the other room.
Other ones.
There's Todd in the background.
They
I'm going to take that back. He says that it's going to be a battle to get him to sleep.
No, I don't drink hard alcohol, actually. We don't have, like, hard alcohol in the house.
But that's hard lemonade.
I feel like hard alcohol just makes me tired. We're getting a pool soon. But we're doing an above ground one. Ugh. Oh, I'll be back. I gotta do a thing on my nose. I'll be back.
Oh, I don't watch the start of that because I want to hear what Todd said. I missed it. Saved. All right, let's have a listen to that again because that was nasty.
The other ones. They have exhibits, but
so Todd comes in and says it's going to be a battle getting him to sleep tonight. And she's ignored him and has carried on talking. Mike's hard lemonade is like a wine cooler. Well, apparently someone asked her whether she's allergic to alcohol, and she's not allergic to alcohol. She's allergic to grass, allegedly. Hi, Pugs and Pizza. All right, let's look at this.
So I remember going to Universal Studios, I think it was in 1994. And I remember Jurassic World was like part of their like whatever, you know, like their rides or whatever. Like there was a Jurassic World one. I remember that. Yeah, it was Jurassic Park. Sorry. My husband's correcting me.
I'm only correcting you because I know people will correct you in the chat.
Yeah, it was Jurassic Park. Sorry. So I remember going to Universal Studios. I think it was in 1990.
Oh, sorry. So he says, I'm only correcting you because I know people will correct you in the chat.
And I remember Jurassic World was like part of their
So he says, I only correct you because people are going to correct you in the chat. All right. So she's talking about, all right. So I need to give you a warning here. She's going to talk about her nose and her allergies and what she has to do. So if you don't like gross things, you can step away.
neti pots are like the bomb. They're just like the best. Like I could breathe. Like this one, when I was on last time, this one nostril was completely clogged. Well, you can do a neti pot with a sinus rinse, so you don't have to use the actual pot. They have like little bottles where you just spray it up one side and you let it come out, and then you spray it up the other side. But it's good for stuff that gets lodged really far up there. And then it keeps like the sinus, like the saline, kind of drying out your sinuses. It's good. I think they're amazing when you get some good stuff coming out.
Oh.
Like, you know, when you're in the heart of allergy season, when you do one and it's like just stuff comes out.
Oh.
But that's kind of what she did to me. So I called her out because she doxed. She was using people she made a video about me. And she used troll accounts that had doxed me and harassed me and called the police on me and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And that had posted photos of my house and done all kinds of bullshit, like so much illegal shit with me. And that's who she was associating with to make her videos about me, people that were literally trying to harm me. And when I shared that on my channel, the next day I was accused of doxing. Even though I shared a public website as I was doing research in a response to her video about me. And she was on that public website. Her name is all over the internet. She's said it so many times on her channel. It was just the ridiculous, but she created this narrative like Katie is stalking me. Katie is doxing me. Katie's passing around my address.
But it's just interesting how she was doing that after she's talking about. So the other thing is that somebody actually asks her, it's been the same. Yeah, she was talking about Creepshow. So Llama Girls writes, KJ is using the CSA drama to try and make it out that she has done nothing wrong herself. We have seen you dox several people, KJ. When the sub commented that CSA didn't lie about KJ, she nearly says go back to L, then changes it to Shannon. Was she about to say LB and then was blocked? The other thing is somebody said, says to her, but didn't Unirock say that you doxed her? And she goes, I'm not going to comment on that. All right, so here we go.
He's passing around my address. And I'm like, I never did that. Nothing she said about me was untrue, though. Yeah, no, everything was untrue, Noelle. You're cute. Go back to... Thanks for stopping by, Shannon. Doxing is doxing is done for malicious intent. So it's basically you take private information of somebody's and you publicly post it. Online, people get really, anon accounts get crazy about it. They think doxing is anything. But doxing generally is malicious intent, like your name, your full legal name, your address, your phone number. I have been fully doxed. My content was out on a doxing website on the dark web that happened last fall. Everything was put out about me. My date of birth, my phone number, my address, my son's date of birth, my husband's date of birth. They doxed my parents. They put out my parents' phone numbers, their date of births, my brother's stuff, my sister-in-law's stuff. They put out everything. It's very dangerous. It can lead to swatting. I've had the police at my house. Since that happened, I've had the police at my house 4 times. I've had CPS here once. It was like a nightmare when it was going on. Yeah, it's like putting people's information out there with the hope that somebody will hurt them. So that's what I went through. I literally did get doxed, and I was trying to explain that, and then I was accused of doxing her, which is not what I did. I never had her email address. I never had her physical address. I still to this day don't know where she lives. I don't know anything about her. Other than I stumbled on LOL Cow, which she was participating on at the same time.
Stumbled upon? And don't forget, didn't she tell us that her husband turned 50? And she wanted everybody to wish him a happy 50th birthday? Hello? Hello, Dottie. Hello, everyone that's just come in. Hello, Osbel. Hello, Totally Clueless. Hello, Christoph Fan, always. But she told everybody her husband was turning 50. And it was his birthday. It doesn't take Doesn't take a genius to work out when his birthday is. Yeah, so this was yesterday. This was last night. So we've been educated on sinuses. So the sock puppet is amazing. I've told Harrison he should probably change the name. So I think he's coming to Toady. He thought Toady. So we're thinking Toady for the sock puppet. So the other thing is, she said she had the police at her house 4 times. Is that more than what she said previously? Because I swear that it was only twice. And she's also given the implication that Creepshow's behind it, again, which is incorrect. So does anyone remember how many times she's talked about the police coming to her house? I can come up with 2, maybe 3 at a stretch, but now she's saying it's 4. Wind Whisper says, I caught that too. The number of times has changed numerous times. Maybe. Hello, Vidandra. Well, maybe Creepshow did wreck the flag. Just look, Mike's hard liquor is made with fermented malt grains, just so it's made up with hard. It just contains a small amount, resulting in 5% alcohol content. So I thought. So I'm just a bit confused with. I just tell me about the story. I mean, keep the story straight, and then she's going to talk about again her email. It was CPS twice. The flag, I don't recall doxing being one of them. I thought CPS was twice. The police was 3 times, or 2 or 3 times. But then it's don't forget there was that day where people did ring the police because they were concerned about her the night before. KJ's story is always. I know that's the thing, Dottie. You can. I think. I don't know whether Llama Girl's got all the clips here, but I know in the later on, she then says the police comes 3 times. So, and this is the same live, and it's like, okay. Must be including the time the neighbours rang, having to do with YouTube. True. The second CPS. Well, she's only mentioned CPS once here, though. And don't forget, she's got to change her email because it was blasted everywhere. But then she did a giveaway. Remember, she wanted everybody to email her, and she gave it to everybody because she wanted emails. So, but when you've got a new audience, an audience that doesn't know you, I guess you can say whatever you like, and they're going to believe you. I've got to run. All right, see you for the love. I have a troll swatter on the go to commemorate Joe's. Have you? Troll swatter. I know, and it was he was an annoying troll too, and I had no mods in, and I had to deal with him myself. I just went, bye. You're gone. You're out of here. Yeah, so you got a troll swatter. Cool. Maybe we need to send one to Katie Joy. All right, so this is the next clip.
I know in one of the videos she made about me, she plastered my email address in it. So like my full email address was listed, which I had listed in my about section on a tab, but I had not plastered it in like the address, the specific email address in there. So people could find my email at that time if they went to my about section, clicked on the link, and then proved that they were not a robot. But my email address in full context is still sitting in a video on her channel. I'm not answering that question.
That question she refused to answer says, well, where is it? Didn't UniRock prove that you doxed Creepshow?
Like, honestly, none of that really bothered. Like, that's not.
So that question she refused to answer was, didn't UniRock show that you doxed Creepshow?
I know in one of the videos she made about me,
and don't forget, this is her responding to Emily Artful's video. Someone had actually said to her, what did you think of the video? And this is the response. Yeah, she did strike a few people. Why would she have a non-specific or partial email address on her tab? All right, here's the next one. All right. KJ, Dottie says KJ always has to make it about herself. Yes, it seems to be that way. Oops, we're just waiting for it to happen. Please, little button.
Screw the naysayers. Screw the people that don't believe you. Screw the hanger-ons and the trolls that want to start things.
It's like, about Emily.
The trolls are always going to troll. Like, there's always going to be naysayers. Just don't let those people bother you. Like, that's the biggest thing I got out of that. Like, there's always going to be people that are going to, like, stir up controversy or not agree with you to try to get a reaction with you. And I kept listening to this today, and I just kept thinking, you know what? This is the perfect time to, like, really understand not to respond to this kind of stuff. Like, I think you can still have a place to speak your truth and talk about what you go through. But you don't have to listen to what the narratives are that people have about you. You don't have to let that dictate who you are. Just because one person told a story and then all these other... I think the one thing that sort of upset me about all of it when I was thinking about it was after Emily shared that, all of the people that she was, Creepshow was friends with, were doubting her story and didn't want to report it. But I felt like if this would have been any other creator, they would have dragged them to filth. I was like, are you serious? Are you serious? I don't think everyone needs to make a video about it. I don't think you even need to make a video. I'm not going to make a video on my channel about it. I was just answering a question in here. But no, I was like, I feel like Emily's video speaks for itself. That's why I told you guys to go watch it. I don't have fans that go by and record Duggar houses. I get people that send me links, but I don't encourage anyone to do that. So I think that's you being a troll. I don't encourage people to do that. I don't ask for that kind of stuff. Like, if someone lives there, sometimes I get a DM and they're like, here you go. But I don't go out and do any of that.
But she showed it. So someone questioned her about about the fact that she
screw
got...
the people that don't believe you, screw the hanger-ons and the trolls that want to start things.
So she was challenged about the fact that she showed a picture of the Duggars house the other day, and she was saying, well, I don't tell people to do it. If they send it to me, they send it to me. But at the end of the day, she still shows it. So
Katie, you have a video of the Duggars house. Like, I get a message from someone that's like, oh, I'm in the area and I have a photo. I'm not asking people to do anything at all. I don't think Shannon can come back from this. I honestly can't see her coming back. Oh, they'll always call me a stalker. They'll say that I do the same thing or worse. So anyone that supports Creepshow will say that I'm worse than her, which is not true. I don't have revenge porn. I don't have naked photos of minors. I'm not married to a man that, raped a woman, and I'm not trying to blackmail that woman to just do that kind of stuff. I just report. If someone in the area has photos of something, it's no different than any other agency having photos of anything. So I don't get private information about people. Nothing.
I'm sorry, I forgot. I should have warned you she was going to use
there
the
are tabloids that literally dig in people's trash. Think about that. I do not dig in people's trash. There are tabloids that sit outside of houses with photo, I don't do that. Yeah, I don't think that Shannon can come back from this. What I fear is that she'll disappear and try to rebrand herself under a different channel and a different name. She could easily use a voice changer and no one would know. But here's my thing. If anyone spends so much time, so much energy trying to protect their anonymity, and they're afraid to speak publicly without you knowing who they are, these are the accounts that I never trust. I don't trust any channel that is anonymous. I don't trust channels that will spew hatred and...
So there you go. Yes, I'm sorry. When she was talking about all the things that... yes, so that was that one. Yeah, so they're all just allegations. As we said right at the start, they're allegations, and I just don't know that you can go and jump up and down. Yeah. Yeah, some people in the chat were calling her out. There's some stuff that I missed. So there was a whole conversation about the fact that at Christmas they play this liquor game where they all give each other liquor, and and my thought was, my whole thing was, well, you've said Todd's an alcoholic. Why are you doing these? Why is your family giving each other alcohol? I know that if it was my family, we probably wouldn't have it for that at that time if that person was there to support them. So I just find that hard to believe. And the other thing that she said that her parents were doxxed, and her brother was doxxed, and her sister was doxxed, and everything. I think everybody in chat knows every Katie video automatically has a trigger warning in it. I can show you the 24 minutes that I got, but I don't know at what part of this it came in. Yeah, I know that, but I always just I know some people aren't. I just always think it's polite. So this is the 24 minutes that I got. So I'll show you this, and then so it may be some of the stuff that Llama Girl has shown you or shown us.
With me. And that's who she was associating with to make her videos about me. People that were the next day I was accused of doxing.
Oh, yeah, we got this one.
Even though in a response to her video about me, and she was on that public website. Her name is all over the internet. She's said it so many times on her channel. It was just the ridiculous, but she created this narrative like Katie is stalking me. Katie is doxing me. Katie's passing around my address. And I'm like, I never did that. Nothing.
There is a lot of stuff that's been left out, Fake Street. You are correct. Leaving out the Discord and Unirock and yeah. Here's a question for you. Do you think that CSA or Creepshow is actually finished? Do you think that they can come back from this? I did actually look at her social blade, and people are actually checking out her channel. She's actually getting views. She had something like 200,000 views yesterday. Could I play devil's advocate and say that this was all a plan? I mean, I could. To get views. Well, KJ came back, so why not? So this Noelle says nothing she said about you is untrue, though, and she gets accused of being a troll.
And she said about me was untrue, though? Yeah, no, everything was untrue, Noelle. You're cute. Go back to... Thanks for stopping by, Shannon. Doxing is so doxing is done for malicious intent. So it's basically you take private information of somebody's and you publicly post it. Online, people get really, anon accounts get crazy about it.
I was checking I was recording, so I'm sorry. I had to check it. And I also had to make sure I had to put my do not disturb on.
Get crazy about it. They think doxing is anything. Phone number, I have been fully doxed. My content was out on a doxing website. Everything was put out about me. My date of birth, my phone number, my address, my son's date of birth, my husband's date of birth. They doxed my parents. They put out my parents' phone numbers, their date of births, my brother's stuff, my sister-in-law's stuff. They put out everything.
So I don't know about the arts community. I don't know how that's gonna play out. But it'll be very interesting to see what happens. Hi, GTA. And so, of course, and imagine being Shannon helping to seek revenge on his ex because he is obsessed with her. All right, here's another point of speculation. Okay, she was saying, "Oh, does it?" Nick Snyder says about stealing art. Wow. I don't think she can come back. Everything about her is an alleged, so nobody will ever. That's true, Christopher. Here's another thing. Emily Artful said about how he was violent and how she was scared of him. Then she said about how she had a theory that he had got Shannon involved. What if that was out of fear? I'm just saying. I'm just trying to throw another perspective in. I don't know that anyone can come back after line and sad fishing. But yeah, that homeless story was very interesting as well, particularly when you find out the husband did videos saying complete opposite thing. I guess part of CSA. There is parts, and there was parts of Emily's story that was bothering me. We talked about this at the start. That there were just I've got so many questions. I got so many questions. She'd have to start creating her own art because she was using other people's art. So I do wonder what her format would be. Yeah. But then by saying she can't come back, we're not saying that. We're saying that nobody's redeemable. Maybe not out of fear, but fear of him leaving. As I said, I'm just throwing it out there. It was what using the words Emily said. To believe that was her drawing. Oh, okay, so it was other people drawing. That's interesting, Christoph Analways. They definitely need to research IP addresses, and she'd need a VPN at this point. So are they saying that there was a violent boyfriend that they both went out with? So Emily's said that Creepshow, her current husband, was her ex-boyfriend and he was violent and she was scared of him. So I'm saying, and then she was saying that he was obsessed with her. So the ex was obsessed with Emily and somehow got Shannon involved. So they're married. And I'm saying, what if those same behaviours? That's anyway. Yeah. As I said, I just have lots of questions. But yes, that's what she said. Nick mentioned it, but said it was promoting smaller channels. So it's, yeah, look. But see, there's been someone that came out and said that Shannon helped her with a couple of things as well. So, yeah. As I say, I'm very happy on my fence. I'm very happy on my fence at the moment. But I have lots of things going through my head. Lots of questions. I've got questions for both sides. She did dippy do. Yes, she did say she wasn't going to talk about it anymore. And she put it on her Instagram that she wasn't going to talk about it anymore. What you did to Tati, got it. Exactly. It was misleading, and she did claim that it was just for other artists, but I think that she's not a talented artist, and that might be why. I'm not totally sure. I don't totally know. The fence is starting to sag with so many sitting on it. I know we need to reinforce the fence. We need to get reinforcement for the fence. As long as it's not an electric fence, Julianne, then I'm happy. I just don't want an electric fence. No, I never saw credits either. You're correct. But I do know that she outsourced her editing. So I'm wondering whether she just paid the artist for the work. Oh, cool. You've reinforced the fence. Great. Thanks, Gar.
Police at my house. Since that happened, I've had the police at my house 4 times. I've had CPS here once. It was like a nightmare when it was going on. Yeah, it's like putting people's information out there with the hope that somebody will hurt them. So that's what I went through. I literally did get doxxed, and I was trying to explain that, and then I was accused of doxing her, which is not what I did. I never had her email address. I never had her like physical address. I still to this day don't know where she lives. I don't know anything about her. Other than I stumbled on LOL Cow, which she was participating on at the same time. Yeah. When I was going through the lawsuit, and even right before then, I got doxxed bad. We had the cops here like 3 times in 1 week.
So now we got 3 times in 1 week. Well, and as this, also we talked about this morning that Carolyn Ironwell has now left all her social media. She's pulled down her YouTube page because she was concerned about the mental health of Creepshow and apparently got trolled very badly. And so she's pulled everything down. So I'm hoping that she's doing okay as well. Somebody's tried to email her to see whether she's okay. The internet is just really cruel at the moment, and it shouldn't be. Why can't we just all hold hands and sing Kumbaya? Sorry, we can't hold hands. Touch elbows and get along with each other, you know? This is turning into a really cruel place, and it shouldn't be. Oops. Sorry, so sorry. I can't think of this. Be back later. Okay, see you, Jenna. Cool. Oh.
Yeah. When I was going through the lawsuit, and even right before then, I got doxxed bad. We had the cops here like 3 times in 1 week. And there was one woman who contacted the police in the county next door to me, and she filed a 7-page report for child abuse and said I was abusing my son and had Munchausen's by proxy. And then someone else filed a report that my husband hit my son in the face. Like, it was insane. CPS showed up. None of it was true. It was crazy.
A next door count. Yeah, see, the thing is, I was listening to this and I'm going, hang on a minute. I haven't heard this fact before. Why haven't I heard this fact before?
So I did go through it, and I definitely didn't dox her. I would never dox anyone because, like, man, like, it's all about intent when you come and do that kind of stuff. Like, I would never, ever, ever try to hurt someone like that. No way.
And that's the scary thing is Fake Street. She's, she implies about everybody else's abuse. It is like it's a fascination with her. And it shouldn't be.
But that was what I've learned about her through this like process is she's accused a lot of people of that. Stalking her, doxing her, harassing her. And it's like, it was like she was projecting that because she was almost in a way, I felt like after watching Emily's video, I was like, oh my God, she's doing all these things. And she's trying to like project that onto other people.
But she thinks she can do it because she's a legit reporter. But you look up, she'll look up their financial info. I mean, I've been stalked. I've had my car rammed twice in 4 weeks by different people. That was pretty freaky. So, yeah. So I know how that is.
Yeah, having CPS here was horrible, like so bad. They were like, yeah, so someone contacted us and they said your husband punched your son in the face, and that was scary. I don't know who's behind the death threats to this day. I don't know. We got so many of them, hundreds. My attorney got them. Michael Saltz got them. His partner Lonnie got them. I got them.
You've said yourself twice.
All the parties.
But Michael Saltz and Michael Brown and Lonnie, they weren't parties. They were the lawyers. Well, to be fair, she does go live with her son screaming in the background. Yeah. And Todd did say earlier that he was having a battle putting him to sleep, getting him to settle down, so which she ignored. I hope he's not awake and listening to this. I hope Todd's not watching it on his phone either. She's got allergies, Vedandra. Lives that the police know all the calls will be fake, so Todd know not to worry. She did say that. Okay.
I know in one of the videos she made about me, she plastered my email address in it. So like my full email address was listed, which I had listed in my about section on a tab, but I had not plastered in like the address, the specific email address in there. So people could find my email at that time if they went to my about section, clicked on the link, and then proved that they were not a robot. But my email address in full context is still sitting in a video on her channel.
You gave it out at Christmas time when you wanted to give out some stuff.
I'm not answering that question.
So that was the Unirock. Oh, here you go. I realised I wasn't up to date, so let's find the question.
So, but this is like, honestly, none of that really bothered. Like, that's not, I'm like deeply
Isn't Uni and his mods the one that started the rumour that you doxed CSA? So she's put it out that's come from Unirock. And that's the one that she's saying, I'm not going to answer. What does that tell you? Why won't she answer that? Hello, Tracy. Why won't she acknowledge the fact it was Unirock who did a live and said she did? Yes, CSA is now why robots can email.
I'm deeply concerned for Emily because while all of this was happening, sock accounts kept coming in with Barbies on them and stuff. And like,
now,
I took screenshots of them.
What did she say about taking screenshots yesterday, by the way? The docs was sent to Unirock. Can anyone remember yesterday what she said about screenshots? People shouldn't screenshot to use them. Is that what she said? Can anyone remember? Yeah, it was in Uni's guilt. It was in Uni's. She watched it twice, GTA and Opinions. She watched it twice. So it was 4 hours of her day. That's what she was doing while Toad was getting his tattoo. Toad was having his me time.
Because I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I was like horrified. There was these people in the chat because I watched it live. And like this Bratz doll, it was like Bratz doll come surprise Emily stalked Shannon for years, leave Shannon alone. And they just like kept coming in and coming in and coming in. And I was just like, oh my God, what is going on here?
So she watched it live. So which would have been, she would have been watching it while her son was playing. And it's not really a video that you want around kids, in my opinion. So
oh, sorry, that one's wrong. I couldn't believe the Barbie magical.
well, the other thing was there was something else. It says, she says this is wrong. It says Shannon seems like she's been manipulated by Andrew, but she's too stupid to take a step back in the face of it all, of all of this drama, and actually look at her lover for who he is. So someone actually put that in the comments, and she said, but she's not sharing that one. That was something that I sort of wondered as well. But I think they're married now, aren't they? Todd's there. Todd's commenting. So the boy's obviously not asleep, or he's watching it. I hope he's asleep.
That one's wrong. I couldn't believe the Barbie magical anus, Barbie pink fanny cum. Like, so they were putting like this all in there, like. Another one, they were like using all of this Bratz doll come surprise panties. There were so many of these, like dozens and dozens of sock accounts. And it was like over and over and over trying to say that like Emily was lying. And Emily, while this was all happening, and they were using these titles, but they kept changing the users. So one user would get banned and then they would bring up another user. It was like they had so many sock accounts. And Emily's like, this is what Shannon and Anthony do. Like she said that they have like probably hundreds of sock accounts that they'll just use over and over and over again.
Allegedly.
And they were putting titles like that to try to censor out, like to get the stream shut down. That's what Emily thought. Like, Emily thought, she was like in the chat and she's like, I'm pretty sure they're doing this right now because the most damning evidence is coming up. And that's when she shared all of her Instagram conversations with Shannon, talking about all of the threats that she got. I mean, Shannon in these screenshots, which I thought was crazy, was agreeing that they would sign a restraining order or they would sign a legal document saying they would never talk to them again. I'm like, if you're innocent.
That's not quite how it was. That's because I actually saw this, and then when I watched it, it's not exactly how it was. There was a conversation between Emily and Shannon, and she said about the fact that I think it's Emily was saying, I have a feeling that it's you, but if it's not you, I apologize. And Shannon goes, well, if this will give you peace of mind, we'll sign it because it's not us doing it. But that's not exactly how it went. And then if it's not you, then we can just forget about it. And again, the way that she's retelling it is not is not exactly how it was described. So for those of you that watched it, how would you describe that part? And this is the part that left me with lots of questions. Ready to Glare was a friend. Apparently she was, Creepshow, well, whoever it is in locale said some bad things about Ready to Glare in that locale site. So that's what you heard it? Yeah. So it was more of a case I got the impression that Shannon was saying that in order to prove it wasn't them, they were happy to sign it because it wasn't them. And for Emily, it was peace of mind that it wasn't them. It was more of a peace of mind thing. That's how I interpreted it, which I could see happening. I mean, if you were being accused of doing something and you were saying that it wasn't you, and somebody said, well, look, will you do this? And you could sign it. Like if you don't have contact with anybody, you'd sign it because you could sign it, or you could fight for your innocence. So I was once involved in I thought it was more because, that's true. But I know Ready to Glare is, so I saw on Twitter that Ready to Glare is actually going to do a video about it to discuss it. I think both were playing each other, both were weary and being nice. And I think that's what it was, Gail. I think they were ultimately they may have been just wary of each other and it was peace of mind. Did she? Others called her out. But the way that she's describing it here is not my interpretation of it. So if you have the same interpretation as Katie Joy, just let me know. They got money for tattoos. They got money. Yeah, that's right. Wow. Are they expensive? As I say, my interpretation can be totally off. So if you say that that's not how it was, that I've interpreted it wrong, please tell me, because I want to make sure that people that haven't seen it do get the correct interpretation. But I don't believe that this interpretation that is being said by Katie is correct. Hello, Meanwhile Dragon.
Like doing that kind of stuff. Why would you be offering someone to sign that kind of stuff? That just doesn't even make sense to me.
Well, if you're innocent and it's not you, they're spending money on something because she's going to need it. It was some Norse mythical tattoo, I believe. Anyway, okay, you missed a lot, yeah. You watched the video. Oh, that's good, Tracy. So you're saying that's not what it was. So if I just am placing myself in Creepshow's position at the moment. So if I got an email, just say, if I got these messages saying, is this you, is this you, is this you, and you're saying, no, it's not me, not me. Then if somebody says, well, will you accept, can I take a restraining order from you? If I knew it wasn't me, I'd go, yeah, of course. I kind of see where Emily's coming from, communicating nice with her. She was scared, but if it was me, I wouldn't have had, I wouldn't have had contact either. So both have a hard bedtime. So during a hard bedtime, both parents are busy on the live. Yes, that's correct. So that's where if I've thinking about the situation, because if it says you can't contact somebody and I wasn't contacting somebody, what's it going to do other than it goes onto your record, really? I mean, it does go onto your record. Well, it does here, as I found out. Well, that is true. Sarah loves donuts. I mean, it could be a dove. A guilty person might agree because it makes them look innocent. That's true. I would never say, sure, take a restraining order on me. Oh, really? You wouldn't get a job again? See, in Australia, it doesn't show up on I don't think it shows up on the police record. Can I say the only reason why I say that is because I actually had somebody take a fake one out on me and they lied. And I tried to fight it. And that was when my car got rammed and I was stalked and all sorts of stuff. And by the time it was going through the court process, by the time it got through the courts and I was trying to clear my name, it was nearly over. It took me nearly 12 months to clear my name. And by then it was over. The judge says, yeah, I could clear your name, but it's due to expire in a month. So, well, by the time it's not the initial one, but the court costs. And the other thing was I also didn't have the money to take it the full way either. I ended up with a month to go for it to go, because it was going to, for me to fully clear my name, it was going to have to go to trial. And with a month to go, the judge says, this is going to cost you X amount of money to go to trial. You've got a month left. You're not seeing them anyway. You're not having any contact with them. So let it just play out for that month. But I can still remember getting served with the restraining order, and the police officer that came to my house read it out to me, and he goes, I'm not supposed to say this, but he said, he says, I find this really hard to believe. And I said, really? I said, yeah. Because I was supposed to drive 2 hours. The allegation was that I was driving 2 hours every single night, driving past somebody's mother's house in a car that wasn't my own. And at the time, my kids were small. So I was a single mother. So I was leaving my kids at home on their own for 4 hours, because it was 2 hours in, 2 hours back. And Wind Whispers, that's a good point. I would agree. And yeah, and it was a 2 hour drive and 2 hour back, and I was supposed to drive past this person's mother's house. And this person's partner's mother's house. It was like, this is ridiculous. So in some bowling cap, I don't own a bowling cap. So in the end, it was not, I essentially ran out of money to clear my name. But apparently it sits on my record. So it was on my record for 5 years or something. So I think it's only come up once. It only came up once, and that was when I was applying for a government job. It was a woman, actually, Sarah. It was a woman and her partner. Cool. Anyway, so that's my story. So it hasn't affected the job prospects. I could never get a job in. Apparently, the only jobs I really can't do is in law enforcement. So it shows up on that. And that's actually how I found out about it. It's been 7 or 8 years. I applied for a job in law enforcement, and they said, we can't take you because of this, because you had a restraining order. So it's like, hang on a minute. So yeah, I've had it. So it was also because it was all related to the job I was doing at the time. I'd uncovered some in Australia they do all right, I think. And I was supposed to be calling them every 5 so many times, and I didn't even have a landline phone. I remember taking in my my mobile phone bill because, to show itemized calls, to show I didn't do it. And the judge goes, you've submitted 500 pages of phone logs. I said, yeah, because I want to show you that I've got no idea. I've never rung them. So, and I also, at that stage, I had a sat nav, and I had set it up to record all my journeys. And I also had that log as well. So, yeah. Anyway, that's my story. So, but I would have, because of what was going on, and then my car was rammed twice in 4 weeks. I actually got rammed. The repair car got rammed from the rear. I would have signed anything just to make it go away, to be honest with you. So that's why I'm saying I can understand Creepshow's. I could understand why Shannon would say it if it was just relentless. If I would, I would go, yeah. But the thing was I'd said to the judge that I didn't want them contacting me either. So it ended up being a mutual one in the end, and that was fine. I didn't want anything to do with them. They didn't want anything to do with me. And it cost a fortune. I couldn't defend it all the way to the end. I wanted to. It was just too much. Anyway.
I was like, and she's like blaming it on his friend Brandon, and like,
that's not what
it
happened.
was crazy when I was seeing those. I was like, and she kept like gaslighting her, like, but he wanted to do that song with her, and she kept bringing up that song. And I think like I was like, holy crap. Yeah, they wanted to get it demonetized, probably to stop people from seeing it, for sure. I agree with that, Jesse.
Again, I would contradict her interpretation, but again, we know that she doesn't like creep shows, so she's gonna jump on it. That's what she says, that she does fair reporting. That was in one conversation. That was in that 41 screenshot conversation that was mentioned about the video, the song. But anyway.
So, I feel so bad for Emily. Like, I honestly feel so bad for her. Like, why would you sign a document with someone? Felt like they wanted to avoid the police almost. Like, well, we'll just sign a document that we won't do this anymore or something like that.
They are enforceable. So if they did do it, there would be consequences. So as I said, yeah, but anyway.
Crazy to me. So long story short, and then not long after she had that conversation with Shannon makes the I got stalked video. It's insane. And her stories are like identical. It's to what Emily was put through. Chat would not be, I think chat can be on the replay, but you can choose not to replay it. But chat replay takes like hours to load. So she could have it coming up, but it might not be available until like tomorrow because chat takes hours to load after you upload for replay. So it's like she was trying to manipulate Emily, like, I'll sign it so we could avoid serving or whatever. I know. I was like, this is insane. Oh, they took it off. Yeah. At the end of the day, I feel like the biggest thing that people should always remember is like, one, like, I just kept thinking this. It's not our job to gatekeep anybody else.
Hello, Into the Blue, Wild Blue, yeah.
It's not our job to tell anyone what to think, say, or feel. It's not our job to cancel people for whatever reason. It's not our job to tell people that you said this word, so therefore everyone should stop following you, or you're such a jerk, so everyone should stop following you, or you said this and you were doing story. It just felt like she was like, it almost felt like she was self-projecting, like she was doing all these things to Emily, but then she was trying to cancel everyone that was doing exactly what Emily said she was doing to her. And I was like, this is insane. This poor woman. She must have felt terrified. I feel so bad for her, but I also feel so proud of her for sharing her story. You could tell she was so scared and like she was angry and she was crying. I just really feel for her.
Actually, I didn't pick up she was angry. She said she was trying to be show no emotion. She was trying to be void of emotion. I didn't pick up her anger. I picked up her tears at times, and which is fair. But I didn't pick up angry. Take note of that, of course.
I hope like by sharing it, like she can heal a little bit, knowing that like it's out there, and screw the naysayers, screw the people that don't believe you, screw the hanger-ons and the trolls that want to start things. Like the trolls are always going to troll. Like there's always going to be naysayers. Just don't let those people bother you. Like that's the biggest thing I got out of that. Like there's always going to be people that are going to like stir up controversy or not agree with you to try to get a reaction with you. And I kept listening to this today and I just kept thinking, you know what? This is the perfect time to like really understand not to respond to this kind of stuff. Like I think you can still have a place to speak your.
So someone says, I'm confused. Right, who's Emily? Hello, Caitlin. How are you?
Truth and talk about what you go through. But you don't have to listen to what the narratives are that people have about you. You don't have to let that dictate who you are. Just because one person told a story and then all these other. I think the one thing that sort of upset me about all of it when I was thinking about it was after Emily shared that, all of the people that she was Creepshow was friends with were doubting her story, and didn't want to report it. But I felt like if this would have been any other creator, they would have dragged them to filth. I was like, are you serious? Are you serious? She has so much support. And I feel like if people are going to give her shit and say that she's lying, it's almost like you're like endorsing that behavior in a way. I don't think everyone needs to make a video about it. I don't think you even need to make a video. I'm not going to make a video on my channel about it. I was just answering a question in here. But no, I was like, I feel like Emily's video speaks for itself. That's why I told you guys to go watch it.
Well, it did and it didn't. We've had that discussion, how we felt it had more questions than answers.
I don't need to. Her video has everything, but yeah. It's on Emily Artful's channel. So just put Emily Artful. A-M or E-M-I-L-Y. I shared the name on my YouTube.
Because she couldn't spell Emily, does that mean that she has drunk a few hard lemonades? Elf. Mrs. Paul. Oh, a few fizzy drinks. And she doesn't drink fizzy drinks, though.
Just Emily Artful. It's her newest video. It's 2 hours long. You can watch it at 1.5 speed. It's a long story. I don't have fans that go by and record Duggar houses. I get people that send me links, but I don't encourage anyone to do that. So I think that's you being a troll. I don't encourage people to do that. I don't ask for that kind of stuff. Like if someone lives there, sometimes I get a DM and they're like, here you go. But I don't go out and do any of that. Good Catterday content.
Hi, Cass. Good to hear the comment, more questions than answers. I'm so over trials by YouTube. Insights such unhealthy behaviour. Well, that's right. Yes, there's a group of us that are sitting on the fence, Cass. I'm more than happy to be on the fence, and I'm not for YouTube trials by YouTube.
See, and even my naysayers will be like, but Katie, you have a video of the Duggars house. Like, I get a message from someone that's like, oh, I'm in the area and I have a photo. I'm not asking people to do anything at all.
But you'll use it.
I know the hell that she went through is terrible.
So someone says you're awesome. You do things correctly. Are they calling you a stalker?
I know she went through such hell. I don't think Shannon can come back from this. I honestly can't see her coming back. Oh, they'll always call me a stalker. They'll say that I do the same thing or worse. So anyone that supports Creepshow will say that I'm worse than her, which is not true. I'm not I don't have revenge porn. I don't have naked photos of minors. I'm not married to a man that, raped a woman.
When she said that, I was real. I just thought that the words that you know of came to my mind, and I thought, oh, gee, that's really snarky. But do you really know? Just the way that she said that was just really got up my nose. Joe, my ears are hurting. I'm sorry.
And I'm not trying to blackmail that woman to just do that kind of stuff.
And again, it's all allegations. It's all allegations. And in fact, Emily Artful did say that for legal purposes, it's all alleged, because she knows that if she says it's concrete, she knows that then there's a possibility of defamation. So it's all alleged. But did I hear? Apparently I do. Cats. Is that why I've got lots of interest coming through? Did I get a call out that I missed again? Yeah, she probably does. I don't get all of them. I try. Because she hides this side of herself from her to her followers. So I just want them to see or hear the truth. Hello, feel the love. She's stating the allegations as truth. But the thing is, right, it is allegations. We don't know what the facts are yet. But this is what she got. This is what she got in trouble with the Westbrook's over stating allegations as facts. I really wanted and thought that maybe she learned something in that whole matter, but it doesn't look like she has.
I just report.
So Katie isn't a stalker, damn it. She just reports facts to us. Apparently, it was all facts. Allegedly. Because all her fans here are talking about the fact that she just reports facts. You love this chat and the humour? That's good.
And in the area, has photos of something. It's no different than, any other agency having photos of anything. So I don't get private information about people. Nothing.
She doesn't get private information about people? Really? Didn't you get birth certificates of somebody? Yeah, agency. You could because if they've sent them to her and she shares them, it could be deemed as agency. Another day, another rant. Oh yes, and another go at Creepshow.
There are tabloids that literally dig in people's trash. Think about that. I do not dig in people's trash. There are tabloids that sit outside of houses with photo, I don't do that. Yeah, I don't think that Shannon can come back from this. What I fear is that she'll disappear and try to rebrand herself under a different channel and a different name. She could easily use a voice changer and no one would know. But here's my thing. If anyone spends so much time so much energy trying to protect their anonymity, and they're afraid to speak publicly without you knowing who they are. These are the accounts that I never trust. I don't trust any channel that is anonymous. I don't trust channels that will spew hatred and just be so vile under the veil of complete anonymity. They're the ones that will be the nastiest, the rudest, the awfulest. They will be the stalkers, the harassers. If you can't show you,
it's like your subscribers are essentially the paparazzi. They send you things unsolicited.
Face when you're reporting, and you need anonymity to report, you're doing that. Like, you should be able to stand by your face. I'm not going to be blamed, Leah, for, I'm not even going to respond to that. It's not the same. So if you are coming to my chat to tell me that I'm the same because someone who lives right by them took a photo outside of their house, that's not the same. I don't ask that. I don't seek out that information. If someone provides me the information and they have a photo, I will use the photo.
There you go. But you don't need to get the photo. Just because someone shares your photo doesn't mean that you have to use it. So she's trying to justify why she's better than everybody else.
Photo, I will use the photo. She said journalists stand out front, which is what you're doing. You should be able to report with your face and put your name out there without fear. And if you can't do that, you're like hiding behind something. And do things they wouldn't normally do, which is why I refuse to do anything anonymous. I refuse. My name is my name. You guys know my name. I don't go by a pseudonym. Katie's my first name. Joy's my middle name. You know? Right. They were taking photos with everyone. Like, they weren't turning anyone away. They were so gracious.
Someone says there are so many hate channels that show up in my recommendations. Oh, hopefully mine's one of them. I'm about to run out.
I feel the channels that don't show their faces are the ones that are the worst to people. So, anyways, and Emily showed her face in this video. She's shown her face on her channel before. I've done a handful of voiceovers, but obviously my face is on my channel. I'm so glad you're following me on YouTube. Thank you. But if you build your channel on hate, this is the kind of stuff, like, that's why I don't want to report just like hateful content. Like, I don't want all my titles to be this person's terrible or that person's terrible, or I just want to tell stories. Thanks, pretty face. All right, y'all. I'm going to go. But Emily was very brave today. If you want to check out her video.
And she's gone. Oh, I don't know. She hasn't gone.
It's Emily Artful. No way is this about me. This is honestly Emily's story to tell. And I am so sorry that she went through that. Like, nobody should go through what she went through. The level of stalking, harassment, threats experienced is horrific. And I can't even believe she's, I'm so proud of her for sharing her story. Bye, guys.
All right, so that was the rest of it. So let me pull up the other bits that I got. So it was all in bits and pieces. So I only got another bit here earlier. This is a 6-minute one. So this was seven. This is 7 minutes worth here. This one. Oh, well, this is the when she went and got the tissue. This is from the first one that she did before the tissue. All right, so just trigger warning. So he got the web of WYRD on his forearm. That's what he got. I'm hoping I got sound. I was out at this point. It's all glitchy. Is he talking? Oh, it's got no sound. Oh, look, we got no sound. Oh, sorry about that. The sound didn't work. But anyway, so he got a new tattoo, so that sound didn't work. I apologize, but I've probably saved all. So I would suggest what I would do if you haven't seen it, Emily Artful, I go and watch it, and then you've heard what Katie had to say about it, and then have a listen and see whether that interpretation is correct. So I will say again, I'm fence sitting on it. I have lots of questions. I have lots of questions. And I don't know that I'm ready to actually I'm not prepared to jump on anything. But let's just have a look at some of the comments on here anyway. Just see. So it looks like that she didn't save the live chat. So the live chat didn't come up. So there's some videos here that she's put. I haven't seen Hopeless Peach's video. She says, if I find more receipts, I'll post them on my Twitter. Eventually, I'll be making a Google Doc. The majority of the receipts are in the second half. Yes, I put ads on my video. I'm still paying for all the therapy so the money from this video will go straight to those bills. I'll be donating to the National Women's Coalition Against Violence and Exploitation. So the money that she makes from the video is going to that. Now, this is interesting. She says, to be clear, Anthony, I think, didn't initially know two of the photographs they were using against me were of me when I was 15, 16. I pointed it out to them at one point and they just sort of ignored me. To be clear, the Snapchat photographs were most not likely taken in my city. I'm guessing it's somewhere in their area and they were just piggybacking off my fear that they were here. Looks like Shannon deleted that rant video she made about how every YouTuber makes a "my art teacher hates me" video, in which she used my video in her thumbnail as an example. People are saying that Shannon's stalker video, she mentions Amy having emo boys call through her window to visit her, when I stated publicly that when I lived with my dad, that is how I would sneak people in and how I would sneak out. Someone else pointed out that Shannon has specifically mentioned not having enough money for a PI or an attorney when she referenced her stalker. She posted this video after I confronted her when I told her I've hired both. Someone pointed out that I talk about a void in my email to Anthony, and then he uses void as a taunt in the Snapchat exchange. Might actually be a coincidence since the exchanges were several years apart, but they obsess over every little thing, so this might be of note. So she's added those she's added those clarifications to her video. So just having a look to see. I always try to find good in people as well. I'm sort of like that as well. I was just trying to see whether our friend had posted something, but I don't know. Anyone else? So everyone said, I didn't really like her. It isn't a fun little drama that people make videos on, make fun of. This heck is troubling. This is serious. Shannon really married a man that's obsessed with another woman. How embarrassing. That's not mentioning the essay, the stalking, the harassing. How more embarrassing for her to join him in harassing and stalking a woman that has absolutely no need for you in her life. So someone's comparing Shannon to the Shane Dawson of the art community. So anyway. So definitely interesting. Oh, look, there's my video. Oh, look. There's the stock puppet. Toady the stock puppet. So everyone, everyone's saying as I said, I hope so I'd encourage you to watch it and come to your own conclusions. There's been a few of us that have shared the same interpretation, that we don't feel that we can categorically say one way or the other. But I'll definitely I'll have to watch Peaches one and just to have a look at that. So she said she's going to put stuff on Twitter, anything else she finds on Twitter. There is a link, and I just want to check the link. I want to click on it offline before She's called it additional threads, additional receipts threads. So it's a goes to Twitter. Okay, so she's got more here. So this is where she's put all her receipts. I think so. Look, sometimes some people do stuff it as a cry for help. I'm not saying, sometimes people do stupid things or stuff to cry for help. Here are a lot more receipts. Gave me permission to share this publicly. Actually was part of Shannon's friend group. So we know this evidence is credible. So it says, hey, I just realised something that adds even more to your story. I'm not sure if you know this, but myself and multiple others can confirm that Shannon and Anthony share a phone and have for a long time, if not always. I've known her a year and some change. She told us herself on multiple occasions that hit me like a brick wall, and I can't believe I didn't tell you that before. It adds a whole new layer of validity to everything. I hope you're doing okay. Okay, so there's that one. I had another large creator who was quite close to Shannon tell me, I absolutely believe she's been creating fake accounts to slander your name and gossip. She was just way too invested in you to a creepy extent. This YouTuber wishes to remain anonymous. They were close enough with Shannon that I would imagine Shannon has a lot of information that she could hold over their head, which could affect this YouTuber's ability to make a living. I do not hold that against her in any way. Of course, I understand that feeling well. Here's a Facebook message that I sent to Anthony's step-grandmother in 2017, stating that I believed he was stalking me. We were not Facebook friends. I don't believe she was ever notified. So this is the Facebook message. Hi, redacted. I don't know if you remember me. I dated Anthony about 6 years ago. Since the termination of our relationship, I have reason to believe Anthony has been stalking, harassing me using fake online accounts. Up until recently, I had no idea who was releasing my personal information online, harassing my employers and threatening to ruin my life, relationship, with career. He recently decided to go after me using one of his personal accounts, which I believe he did by mistake. I'm looking at filing a restraining order against him now that I have evidence that suggests it has been Anthony harassing me all these years. I'd like to do everything within my power to protect my family and myself. I recently gave birth to my first son, and I'm afraid he will come after his personal information as well. I know this may seem random and confusing, but I haven't found any other way to protect myself. So this is why I'm messaging you. I believe I only need the county he currently lives in and his birth date. I remember he spoke of changing his surname from something to Parker, but I'm not sure if he ever went through with that. Feel free to call me, text me. My phone number is redacted. I currently live in redacted. I moved hoping a fresh start in a new state would deter his aggression, but he doesn't seem to have done any good. Thank you, Emily. Some context, Anthony's grandfather remarried this woman, and he and Anthony moved into her home. She was very outgoing and wanted to bond with Anthony, but he was not interested. She had pretty strict rules about visitors because she was an old woman. I don't blame her. She bought all the new gaming consoles at a time to try and appease him, but it just froze her out. Had a top floor room and lived in an upper middle class neighborhood. I tried to get him to give her a chance, and he refused. I recall him saying he wanted to roast her on a spit like a pig she is. At some point, he made a comment, I thought in jest, that it would be so easy to poison her morning coffee. He often made threatening OMG, no, totally kidding comments like that about many people. I got along with his step-grandmother. She kind of was very generous, a bit strict and goofy. Anthony became so reclusive and offensive. He was openly unkind to her that she and his grandfather asked him to move out of their home. At least that's what he told me. Shannon's parents are also this way. Anthony only mentioned them in passing once. He said they were overly pretty nice, just dorky. When discussing how shocked we were at Shannon's feigned homelessness, this person said this. What I noticed as sort of conflicting with what I've been told prior was Anthony describing their choice together to become homeless as a premeditated choice that was, if anything, a positive experience, whereas Shannon described it as a horrible time in her life as a result of an ultimatum her parents gave her to either go to school or leave the house that led to her being forced into homelessness. Shannon's parents wanted the best for her, so gave her an ultimatum. That's certainly strict, but not entirely unheard of. I find this interesting because Anthony was running mostly by choice because he couldn't make an attitude adjustment from a similar experience. I've stumbled across some Facebook Messenger receipts that I didn't know I had. Otherwise, I would have used them in my video. This is at Facebook user is Anthony. The first messages are from the 21st of 10th, 13, and I thought at first he was describing Shannon. Okay, so let's have a look. Good. Oh, good. My throat's a bit better. For some reason, I'm crying. I can't stop. There was a girl in one of my dreams. For some reason, I feel sad about not listening to her at the time. It's confusing. A girl. Sorry. Like a faceless dream. No, she had a face. I've had the same dream a few times. Well, it's the same settling. But when she takes me outside to talk, it's different. It's like someone you've been in passing. Did you know it's impossible to create never seen before faces while it dreams? Yes, I think you mentioned that last time I was at your house. I think you mentioned that while you were doing practice sketches of people. Everyone you dream about you've seen before, even just in passing, a very romantic fact, if you ask me, sounds like me. I've never seen her, though. From what I remember anyways, I think of how she was in my head. And she's perfect. She's sort of average build, very pale brown hair, really long, widow's peak, kind of heavy eyeshadow. It makes her look sort of like her eyes are sunken in, at least from across the room. She's always wearing a green college pullover and blue jeans, literal dream girl. I guess so. I think the thing I like the most is the way she fills out her eyebrows. It's not totally necessary, but I like that. I don't know what that means. So she said she's first, and then she says, goes into detail about her body at one point. They don't seem to match Shannon's physical description. And when I say sounds like me, I'm referring to him saying that I told him the human mind doesn't forget faces. In the exchange, it appears I was in a moment of sobriety. In this one, I am not sober. That happens throughout the exchange. It's very obvious when I'm under the influence, when I'm not. When I'm sober, I want a lot less to do with him, which I find interesting. So it's very interesting. Hello, Berta. Oh, it is very, you're right. It's very dangerous. So she's put in all of her receipts now, or these are all stuff that she's found. But I'm not seeing how these receipts aren't convincing me one way or the other either. Here's an example of his nonsense little marriage. They're present throughout the video. King killed more trout. Here he discovers what kind of restaurant I work out. This is also proof that I was about to start working as a makeup artist. I did not end up getting a license, instead just advertised on social media. How are you earning money, and what are these goals? Still at the something and to get them my certification for makeup. Confirming Anthony went by the name Ayla for a while. His bandmates' names were Meteor Showers, Ayla Pixels, and was eventually just posting music as Anthony Parker. An example of him talking about the girl he was briefly seen after me. It shows he had a pattern of bad behaviour that warrants blocking. On Pixels, I'm curious. No, she blocked me. So she's been posting and posting and posting. So So anyway, I'm still, as I said, these are all receipts. Which are all helpful, but I don't know. Oh, hang on. Says speaking. Hang on. There was something about speaking half truths. Hello. Speaking of half truths, Shannon has mentioned multiple times in her videos about how she has a dead brother. It turns out it's not her brother, it's her cousin. She was trying to gain more sympathy points. So there you go. Someone's got Shannon's mum's Facebook. So this is the thing, short order cook. I don't know what they're trying to prove. They're not making sense to me. It's a bit like the end of the video. The end of the video didn't make sense to me. Full sense to me. These receipts, which are being posted here, aren't making much sense to me either. So I just want I guess I'm just hoping that something's going to make sense, but it's not making sense to me at all. All I can say is I'm so glad there was no social media when my kids were little. Sorry, there was MySpace, but like we didn't post photos of our kids and didn't give running commentary about what there is. No, you're right, Plan to Create. There's no context in these receipts. I would agree. There's no context to this. So that I can see at the moment. So you see it all. So I think the reason why she was trying to contact the step grandmother was she was trying to get a location for a restraining order. But yeah. See, this stuff I don't understand, this stream stuff. So nice. Well, I'm glad that you come and visit, Dom. Oh, but it's really hard. It's really hard to deal with other people's dramas when you've got your own. That's what I will say. So it's interesting though. She says he discovers the restaurant that I work at. I think she's told him. So as I said, I don't know. I'm more confused. So right back up again. They had any more juicy receipts on post. That's why Shannon would take half truths about me and blow them up with lies, is because she didn't have anything current she could hold over my head. So anyway. Shaky Boomer, no offense No offensive, but you don't get the technical computer stuff, and there is only receipts for timelines and contacts. Like most cases, the IP and cookies is proof. That is true, but I haven't seen the IP and cookie proof. I've seen people say that the IP and cookies proof, but I haven't seen the actual receipts of the IPs and cookies, to be fair. Hi, Shaky Boomer. From what I saw, and I have to say, I haven't sat and read all of the locale stuff. I did have a skim glance, but they said that said that they were the same. But I've not seen everything. Don't yell at me, but is locale reliable? Well, that's the point that I have, Gail. So I don't know. No, it's a trash person site. I've heard somebody say that they had been right previously about something. You never will. It's not up for public consumption as it's too much to put out. Well, that's the problem, isn't it? See, I don't know how any of that works either. So LOL cows like kiwi farms, I believe, Gail. And now it's been said that they both share a phone. Correct. So could it have been the husband and not Creepshow? So this is, yeah. As I said, there are just too many questions I have. I have too many questions. Only social media for me. I do sell online, but strictly business. Yeah. I know Sarah loves donuts. It's just putting me more and more on the fence. More and more on the fence. Well, yeah. As I said, it's just really bizarre. You have, yeah, you can go to bed. The thing is, I'm not really on the fence, is that the husband is a jerk. So, as I said, I don't know. So, if they've shared a phone, to me, that gives me that has more questions for me. I have even more questions now. So anyway, and so Sue's just reminded me. So sorry, good. So where did I get that from? It's like reading court papers. It gets more info out of them than most people. Please watch tips on stuff for tech stuff. Yes, I did watch some of his stuff. I have watched him, and he has a feeling. He did say he had a feeling it was her. I have watched tips and stuff. I did watch his initial thoughts. See you, Gail. But the thing is that there was some stuff in Emily's video that I want more information on. That's all. I do believe she's telling the truth, but she said everything was alleged, and I don't know. And I've just seen what happens. I've also seen what happens to people that, show compassion to one side. And, I don't believe that if somebody shows compassion to Creepshow that they should get kicked off the internet or be run away. She said she had to for legal reasons, correct, because technically she could get... she said she had to do it for legal reasons, correct, because they're allegations. So now all of that stuff needs to be taken to law enforcement, and law enforcement does what they need to do, and then it can go to court, and the court can decide whether there's guilt or innocence. And even in court, both sides get to have a say. Both sides get to have a say. And then the judge sits down with all the evidence and makes a decision. And I guess, as I said, I just want to see I want to see everything. So, but I'm not gonna run anybody off the internet. I'm not interested in running anybody off the internet. I just want people to do better. And that's the issue. It'd be hard to convict. Yeah. And that's the issue. A restraining order can mean on such best way would be not to violate, would be just such. Well, that's true as well. That is true. So, yeah. All right. So I'm going to head off. I'm going to head off and go to sleep. So thank you all for joining me. We've had interesting time. So I just make sure that you hit the like button. It is never wrapped up in the bow. No, it's never wrapped up in the bow. I'm too old. People who hurt others with the intent of hurting others shouldn't. Oh, that's true. They shouldn't be allowed to have. In real life, they actually harm you must be even hard. Yeah. However, Australia has brought in some really tough cyber stalking rules. So it would be interesting to see how it would play out in Australia. So in reference, it's like the James Charles drama, and it backfired. Now James Charles is surrounding in controversy when he has talked to underage people. It's why you don't involve yourself. Correct. I think so. Yeah. Oh, that's all right. I'm happy to cover it. I knew that people would have questions. I was interested in the receipts. But as I said, I'm more than happy being on the fence. And it's probably my law nerd part of me. All right. So everybody, thank you for joining me. But it's good to see that, some people do think the same. I know that some people also have a law enforcement or legal background, so that have shared some opinions. So I think that's right. Everybody that's involved, they need to get the help that they need. And I think that's the most important thing, that everybody gets everybody gets the help that they need. All right. So anyway, I'm going to catch you all later, and have a good day, night, or whatever it is where you are. Look after yourself and be kind to each other and yourself.